call, please.
Commissioner Nolden,
Present.
Commissioner Winfrey,
Here.
Commissioner Ellenberg,
Here.
Commissioner Clemens,
Present.
Commissioner Avery.
Present.
Commissioner Shoemaker is excused. Commissioner Davis,
Present.
Commissioner Newman is excused. Commissioner Peppin.
Here.
We do have a quorum.
Next thing on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from the Finance Committee. meeting.
Support.
Been moved and supported. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Are there any public comments to the Finance Committee? Are there any comments to the Finance Committee?
Yeah, Finance Committee. Hello. Let me comment on this
Your
first.
name, state your name and city,
Woodson,
please.
Arthur Woodson, Flint, Michigan. Let me comment on this first. Ms. Newman said something pertaining to what Ms. Davis said, that y'all didn't know. If y'all didn't know, how is it that Mr. Avery resigned from both boards prior to this right here? Who would resign from their board prior to this, not knowing if they're gonna get voted in or not? Come on, man. This is crazy. Like I said before, I don't want to hear nothing about crab in a bucket mentality, black trying to bring down another black, because I already know what he did at GISD. And I'm still appalled because our kids are suffering in our school district while GISD sitting on $23 million. And he said, and called people down to the chambers, trying to make me seem like I'm lying when I have ACLU paperwork. Yes, I'm gonna be watching every day. Mr. Winfrey, Mr. Nolden, just because they're black doesn't mean they're good for us. Finance, $79 million came in ARPA funds. Land Bank took 600 houses from the city of Flint. They need demoing. Why haven't we seen any of that $79 million for the city of Flint? Can I get a list of what that $79 million is used for or going to be used for? Because we want part of that $79 million to go to doing demos, because we're not gonna demo Flint homes that Genesee County own, and Flint doesn't get a dime from it, and the county reaps the rewards from those homes being demoed. Mr. Winfrey, Mr. Nolden, Mr. Avery, can y'all please muster up enough votes to get Land Bank some money to fix our blighted area here in Flint? Thank you.
Are there any other comments to the committee?
Michelle Sharon, Grand Blanc. Again, who in the world resigns from two boards when, from my understanding, just got on Grand Blanc board, school board, not long ago? Why would you resign from a board that you just got on if you haven't already knowing that you're going to get on this? The crookedness. Seriously? Seriously? You guys are proud of yourselves? You think you're going to heaven? Oh yeah, the secret society, they don't believe in God, that's right. So the corruptness is out of control. We just sit here and tell you about it. We talk to you about it. We the people. We the people that pay your $170,000 seats. And all your other things. We pay that. My taxes. And right in front of us, you turn around and say, oh, he's got to resign from the board. Oh, that's right, he already did. Seriously? In 3 minutes? I'd like to see when that resignation was put in. Because I bet you it was from the last meeting to this meeting. Meredith, you're so right. Corruptness. You should be ashamed of yourself, Avery. Seriously? Disgust is all I can say. I hope again this video goes viral. And for the record, my police friends, my undercover, very high up police friends do know that I've been calling out these secret societies. They do know all about it. If anything happens to me, this is where they will come first. I am putting that on the record right now.
Time's up. Are there any other comments to this committee? Any other comments? Seeing none, public comments closed. We have no communications to the committee, no old business. Under new business,
Mr. Chair, I just had a quick question. How is Avery going to be voting on things that he just got the agenda 3 minutes ago? Do you feel comfortable voting on them today?
I'll recuse myself from any information that I'm not sure.
It was just a general question.
under new business, clerk's office. Approval of request to create, post, and fill 3 deputy clerks, legal division. It's been moved in its support. Is there any discussion?
I have a question. Do
Commissioner?
we have someone from the clerk's office available? So being that this is coming from ARPA funds, which will not be available in perpetuity, my question is, what is the plan for these positions when the ARPA funds are no longer available?
That is, we're looking at 4 years funding through ARPA, and hopefully we can show you in that 4 years the improvements in efficiency in the court system and in the legal division of the clerk's office that you would consider to keep those positions. The work is never going to go away. The circuit court process does not happen without the clerk's legal division. And so we would hope that you would reconsider in 4 years, keeping those positions and putting them in the general fund. Today I have with me Commissioners Tricia Wright. She has worked for Genesee County for 24 years. She is the legal division supervisor. 24 years of her time here has been spent in the legal division. She knows that office better than anybody in the county. And she can tell you that the work has increased while our staff has decreased. And now, especially now, with the courts having to shut down for so long, the work is beyond their control. We have court clerks that should be doing court work assigned to the front counter right now, waiting on the public. Tricia, who should be supervising and doing administrative duties, is going to court every day to cover the courts because we don't have the court clerks to do it because they're doing deputy clerk work. The bindovers from district court, because of the delay in the court process, are astronomical. You can see by the data. I hope that you looked at the packet that I provided you. The data on the bindovers. Bindovers mean that the district court is now sending them to circuit court. Is astronomical. The page counts, the documents that we're dealing with, all in your packet. I hope that I provided you with enough data to prove that the clerk's office is in desperate need of help. The work has increased. The document count, the page count has increased by 800%. All in the packet that I gave you. Also a recommendation from the Chief Judge of the Circuit Court supporting these 3 positions. Any questions, or would you like to make a comment?
I just agree with everything Leslie has said. Expungements, everybody knows that's a big deal in today's society. We see that person a minimum of 4 times every time somebody wants to file for an expungement. That includes when they first come in and request an expungement. We have to then order their file. They have to come back to get copies out of their file per statute. That's the second time we see them. They file their documents. They come back again to have their hearings. They come back to the clerk's office again to get, file their orders and to get their copies of their orders so that they can get everything completed. So that's 4 times that they're here in the circuit court.
And keep in mind, every time that person comes in, each 4 time, they come in and take a deputy clerk's time. The deputy clerk then passes it off to the court clerk to
Right.
make sure that the file, so it's 2 people in the legal division, 4 times, 8 times total for the legal division on one expungement. And we have hundreds of them going on, and with the way that the laws are, they're increasing the band of expungement, so we expect to see many, many, many more, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of more expungements coming through.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Ellenberg first.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, to you. When we have the expungements, I know there was a big push for expungements through the Sheriff's Department. And when we have those, being the fact that they have to come visit you 4 times, is there a cost to that individual at all for their expungement?
The cost is, it's a $12 certification. They have to get a certified copy of their conviction per statute. It's not one that we have created, it's one that the statute has created. So they have to pay that $12 for each of their files. They sometimes have more than one file where we have to order in 2, 3, 4, 5 sometimes. And then they have to pay the state for, they have to be fingerprinted and turn that into the state police. They pay the state that money. Other than that, there's no cost.
They don't pay court cost or
no.
anything like that?
Nope, there's no filing fee or anything like that. It's just that certification fee.
I mean, to me, expungement is like a privilege. And, to get that taken off your record after it's been sitting there for a long period of time, it should be a value to that person that's asking for the expungement. And we're just kind of doing it as a free service, sort of.
By
I mean,
statute,
$12.
we can't charge for, on criminal cases, we can't charge a fee, a filing fee for filing a motion in a criminal case. It's a statute.
And that's by state law, we can't do that?
Yes, that's correct.
Please also understand that it is not, there is a cost to the county for these. Most of these files are in off-site storage facilities. We have to order them, and we have to pay for a fee for them to pull those files, and then for them to deliver them here. And then once we get the certified judgment to the petitioner, we have to pay to have that file put back. So it is costing the county a lot of money to do these expungements, just for the files,
Before he did it.
to get the files back and forth.
Commissioner Nolden?
yes, well, two quick questions. I don't remember this coming through budget sub-finance. Did we see that?
Yeah.
I must have missed this.
We didn't see
Okay.
it?
So
That's-
Commissioner Nolden, we aren't using that
Yeah, the
process
sub-
this year. They've told that all of these requests for new positions should come directly to finance.
Okay, because I don't remember seeing this last year. That's why I was just wondering.
Yep.
And then number 2, have you guys worked with any other organizations to help defray the cost? Because I do know that GST Michigan Works has some dollars available, and there was a young lady that was reaching out to try to work with you guys that could help with some of those folks that's going through their program, that they could pay some of the cost for whatever fees that might be available. Have you had any conversation with anybody from there?
I have actually talked to the ladies over at Michigan Legal Help, and they're using some funds from Michigan Works. They're doing expungement fairs as well over at Michigan Legal Help, or Legal Services of Eastern Michigan, I'm sorry. They're doing expungement fairs as well. They are actually getting funds from Michigan Works.
Because I do know that there's a
Yes.
considerable amount of money that GST Michigan Works has for this, for those people that are coming through their program that may have a record that wants to get them expunged.
And we
So
do
just want to make
sometimes,
sure, we want to make sure we tap into that too, because that might be able to help to defray some of the costs that you guys are incurring.
Well, they first started occurring before the sheriff had his expungement fair, we also were in discussions with the Attorney General's office, and they were looking into funds to help people get their certified copies, and to also try to get some of the money that the county is losing by doing these expungements. And we do them because we have to. It's the law. We're doing our job. But we did have discussions with the Attorney General's office, Mr. Gleason, and Ms. Nessel, and nothing became of that.
Okay.
Is there any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed?
Nay.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Under Director of Administration, we have an approval of a request to create, post, and fill a communication director position.
Move it.
Moved, is it seconded?
Support.
Supported?
I have a question.
Is there discussion? Commissioner
Hi.
Amberg?
Yes, is Anita here to maybe discuss about this? Hi. After I, got looking through my backup and everything, we're looking at this starting salary between $85,000 and $95,000. Did we do any comparisons to other municipal, or other city, or other counties that have this type of director?
Don't recall if we did specific counties.
Could you speak into the mic?
Sorry. I don't recall that we reached out to specific counties. So this would be a title that we've made ourselves, a position we're creating, kind of a one-off. So a lot of times what we'll do is look internally as well to see, the same as we're doing with the union contracts and lining up the pay scales, comparing what the requirements are, what the level of responsibility is, and seeing how they all compare internally.
In the past, have we always had a communication director? I know we've had a person that watches over the commissioners, director. Thank you,
over
Josh.
you, huh?
Anyway, but have we always had, a communication director?
We have not, and we have not found a dedicated position, but it has been something, especially once social media becoming very popular in a way of communication. It's been talked about over probably 4 or 5 different commission groups, but it's kind of like, well, can this person do it, or can this person add it to what they're already doing? And frankly, that just hasn't been successful. You don't have someone dedicated to doing what you need done for our county for communication.
Well, to me, that's a high salary. I would like to have more information on it. I'd like to do some comparisons of even some of the organizations that we have around here that have communication directors. GHS, I'm sure, has communication directors because they have to send out all their information, what they have. Michigan Works probably has one to kind of see what their salaries are. I'm just not comfortable voting on that salary without having the backup information to have it at this time. So I would like to amend this to be pulled off the agenda until we get that information and bring it back to us when we have it in our backup so that we can do some comparisons.
I'll support it.
Okay, so there's been an amendment to the original motion.
To have the information, have backup
made a motion to
information before it's brought back to us, so we can have comparison prices.
It should be a motion to postpone.
Postpone, okay.
Okay, and it's been
And that will be
seconded.
my motion, to postpone.
Support.
And is there any discussion about this motion to postpone? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed?
Aye.
So the motion to postpone
Carries.
carries, and we will,
Get that information and bring it back.
under C, fiscal services,
Move it.
Support.
been moved and supported. Is there any discussion?
Mr. Chair, could you please say the amount of the bills that are being paid? Some people
Is
don't
Crystal-
realize how much money we spend to keep Genesee County running.
Okay, it's $17,538,000.80. And that's for weeks ending 11/14, 11/21, 11/28, 12/5, and 12/12 of 2021.
1, 2, 3, 4, for 5 weeks, that's the amount, 17 million.
6 weeks.
Okay, thank you.
6 weeks.
Is there any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Under DG card,
Can you move 1, 2, and 3?
there's been a motion to move 1, 2, and 3. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Juvenile Justice Center, approval of request to post and fill 2 full-time program aide positions and 1 full-time GCJJC supervisor at the Genesee County Juvenile Justice Center to be paid from account 2920-356-702.
I'll move it.
Been moved,
Support with a question.
been supported with a question.
Is this, okay. Hello, how are
Hi,
you?
Rhonda.
Commissioner Avery,
So,
congratulations.
Are these positions, will they be grant funded?
They're not grant funded, but they are child care fund reimbursable, which is our reimburse eligibility with the state of Michigan for juvenile justice costs. So that's a 50% reimbursement for eligible costs that the county pays first, and then we get 50% back on a monthly basis when we submit a monthly report to the state of Michigan.
Okay, that's basically kind of wanted to know where the money
Yes,
was coming
yeah.
from. All right, thank you.
Yeah. And may I quickly, commissioners, introduce you to Chad Sharp. Chad is the center director. I'm going to let him take over requests for the Juvenile Justice Center. We hired Chad in September of 2020. Chad worked at what was formerly known as GVRC, but now the Juvenile Justice Center, for 30 years, Chad?
Oh, well, over 20.
A long time as a supervisor, and so bottom line is Chad's just really good at his job. So when we hired him, Chad's really taken on a lot of really huge tasks, but to highlight one of the main ones is we're going through a program redesign that he's really headed up. All the staff have been through multiple hours of training so that we can kind of transition to a more therapeutic and trauma-informed culture at the Juvenile Justice Center, and all of our staff have went through anywhere between 16 and 32 hours of training in an evidence-based model through the University of Cincinnati. And we've also developed an internal program committee with the management team and some of the staff, and we're working with a consultant continue that fidelity to that model. Chad's really had that up. He also took on the task of getting us licensed as a court-operated facility with the state of Michigan, which is not an easy task at all. That was totally his doing. And then on top of it, trying to manage COVID, keeping all of the staff and the youth safe at the Juvenile Justice Center has been a high daily priority for all of us, and he's done a really good job with that. So I just want you to get to know the face because Chad will be here with the Juvenile Justice Center requests.
If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed?
Nay.
Thank you.
Motion passes. Parks and Rec, approval of a request to create, post, and fill various positions at Genesee
Support.
County Parks and Rec. These positions will be millage funded. It's been moved and supported. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Probate Court, approval of a request to create, post, and fill 1 judicial advisory assistant at Genesee County's Probate Court. This position will be assigned to the Flint water cases. And this will be an ARPA-funded project, so it's been moved and supported. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Senior Services, approval of request to create, post, and fill a senior service specialist position. It's been moved and supported. Is there any discussion? Commissioner Ellenberg.
Yep. So what's a senior service specialist position, Lynn?
Good morning, Commissioners. This is one of my 2 staff members. One is dedicated to the service providers, and one is dedicated in this position to the senior centers. So this person collects all the billing and reimbursements, goes through it, making sure that it lines up with their budgets. They also go out and do audits of the centers to making sure ultimately that they have their health inspections and that they're following. They also work on mapping and different projects that we do so that the community knows what the senior millage is doing out in the community, since it is their taxpayer dollars. So it's a wide range. It's a blend of accounting experience, case management experience, social work experience, information referral. It's a pretty unique position.
Have we had a specialist there before?
These are the current positions. When I hired in back in January of 2011, I hired the first 2, and they were with us. Actually, Paul is still with us today. And then I had the first position through December of 2019. We hired in February or March of 2020, and now I'm here. She's moved on to oversee the millage in Lapeer County. So the position has always been there ever since the department's been existing, and I'm just asking to fill that.
Okay. All right. Just want some information. All right, thank you.
Of course.
Is there any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Under Sheriff,
Move 1 through 4.
Support.
so there's been a motion to approve 1 through 4 and supported. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Under Veterans, we have an approval of a request to create, post, and fill 2
Move it with
VSOs.
question.
Been moved and supported.
Can we have Bill come up and explain these 2 positions?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Carrie, your Deputy Director for Veteran Services, just handing out some information that she kind of gathered just in case there was any questions as to relating to the ratio of veterans to the veteran service officers. And we support a lot more than a lot of other counties. And with the amount of outreach that we have been doing and trying to get more involved with the community, our workload has increased dramatically. And to best serve the veterans, the families, and the communities is to request these 2 positions to help file claims.
Pretty much do everything that the service officers are doing now, but just being more efficient, and the quality of a claim is going to be there. Right now, we're just kind of rushing through, trying to help everybody, but if we had more help, then we would definitely be able to spend more time, with each individual veteran, and just have a better quality interaction.
And it's just being able to get more people in at a time, and plus with the fact that, when we do get the new building, we'll have more spaces along with that as well. Our whole goal for the whole time from when I started, I've only been here about, a year and a half now. And like I said, I told you I wouldn't make changes for almost a year. And now I think it's at that time where we're actually growing, getting veterans, getting the community involved, and being out in the community, showing them that we're there and trying to help the community and the veterans. And it's reflecting on the amount of cases that are coming in, the people that are coming in, and the amount of people that we're helping.
Through you to the chair. So this will bring you up. You had 2 VSOs prior, and now this will bring you to 4.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
And then will one of them kind of organize the office? And because I know that's what we had talked about.
We had talked about, right now, we're just looking at just trying to get the VSOs so we can take care of the veterans first. We had talked with Anita and Josh and all that before, and working a little bit more with Carrie and Shannon as well to try and get them a little bit more involved with the office and getting that taken care of, but mainly looking out for the veterans' best interest.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yep.
Is there any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Is there any other business before this committee? Seeing none, adjourn the meeting at 10:15.
I'm in that.
Public Works next.
Okay.